Hello and welcome to Dreams of Wings, and welcome here to Leknes on the Lofoten Archipelago in beautiful Norway. This scenery is just absolutely stunning. Love flying around here. Really interested to see what the recent update has done to the area. But we're here for a special reason. You know I love helicopters. I fly mainly the modern helicopters, the H145 and the H160. And I had the Alouette from Taog's Hangar, but I just couldn't resist the Lama, the SA315B Lama, which is the latest release. I just think it looks beautiful. I didn't really fly the Alouette much, mainly because, if I'm completely honest, as much as it was a brilliant model and it was lovely to fly, I didn't like the look of it. This, I just think is great. I always thought this helicopter looks like a Wasp, and I love this repaint that actually comes with it. And I call this the Wasp. Yes, I know there is a helicopter called a Wasp, but this is the Wasp. Also, it's kind of got that Chris Foss look about it as well, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, this is going to be my first flight in this helicopter. So mistakes are going to be made, but I thought it would be quite interesting to make a video out of my first flight. God knows why, because, you know, what can I say? It'd probably be entertaining for you. But we're going to go for a flight in the area. I've heard that it's quite a challenging helicopter to fly, so it's going to be interesting. We'll take it up, have a flight in the area, have a look at some of the scenery, do some landings, mess about a bit, and see where we go. But I'm really looking forward to this. The scenery here is beautiful. The helicopter is great. I just know coming from Taog's Hangar, it's going to be a good one. So let's get in the cockpit. Let's get going. Right, now the first thing to point out, which is pretty obvious, is just how beautiful the artwork is in this cockpit. It has such a tangible aspect about it. You feel that you could reach out and touch it and actually feel those textures. It's quite incredible, the amount of work that's gone into this. Down here we have our EFB, and you can see, for example, here that I've actually set up the glare shield. You can have it without, or you can have it with. I just thought with this low sun here in gorgeous Norway, it'd be quite handy to have that. And there's all these other things that you can change as well. I'm not going to go through each and every one, but you can see I've got engine covers selected from the outside. I could add antennas. I could add all the things that I need for whatever mission that I want to actually run. One of the really cool things actually is this bubble door. You can see this is our normal door here. If I add that, then we have this bubble door, which just really means we can look down a bit. Great for sling loads or medivac or anything like that. So we'll get rid of that for the time being. And we've got roof covers. So there you go. You can put those up as well to stop the sun from coming in. So there's plenty of options to play with here. And you can get an idea from this list of what they all do. I'm not going to run through each of them. But as I said, I have got the engine cover set up. And I've got the glare shield on, so that's what I'm doing at the moment. Right, okay, so isn't it just gorgeous out here? We did a group flight some time ago over here in Beavers, and it was just absolutely beautiful. Hang on, did I say group flight? I did say group flight. We have a Discord. I'll put a link to it down below. We talk about aeroplanes, helicopters, things with propellers, aviation. There's even a photography section now. We post screenshots. We do group flights. Come down, say hello, and we'll see you there. Right, back on track. What on earth was I waffling about? Okay, so let's just get going. So the tail rotor control pedals are there. I'll just check I have got some curves in, as was suggested somewhere I read, so I've got those in just to see how that affects it. So that's all good. Doors are closed. Fuel control lever is in the closed position. Fuel shutoff control lever lock wide in forward position where it is. Circuit breakers, let's have a quick look at those. They are all looking absolutely fine. Let's have the battery and generator on. It's the generator, isn't it? Yeah. Yes, it is. That was lucky. Flicking switches, not actually looking closely to see what I'm doing. Right, engine starter switch is off. Rotor brake is released with the forward rotor here pointing forwards because we don't want it above the tail. Exhaust gases making a mess of things. So we now release that. Check volts, 24 we're looking for minimum. We're over that, just over 25 slightly. Check warning lights. That's fine. We can see that we've got some warning lights here on for fuel pressure, for the micro pump, and engine oil. This is what we would expect because wheel's not running the engine at this point. Right, altimeter. So because I wanted us to see the scenery, we are running WIMP weather. So the altimeter is going to be at 1013. And let's have a wee look at that. Oh, of course, it's in that blooming version of it. I hadn't looked closely at that, so it's not in millibars. What I'm going to do is I'll leave it at that because I think by default it tends to go to whatever the equivalent is, and I'm pretty sure that is the equivalent of 1013 millibars. So happy with that. Right, in the event of night flying, check interior. We're not going to be doing that. It is the land of the midnight sun, and this I've had to set it to October. Because otherwise it was just a bit too dark here in November to really get a look at the scenery. So the sun is quite low, but we're not going to be doing anything classed as night flying. Right, okay, so I'm going to now set that view and lock it. Turn off my head tracking for a moment. So we're going to be setting the starter switch to on. We're going to be checking that the green start light comes on, and checking that the yellow light here, I think it's that yellow light here, looks like it's already on, comes on shortly after. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong yellow light there, maybe. And then we crank the fuel flow lever, which is the one down here, to about 35%, and then we're looking to let it stabilize at around 1900 RPM. And then we gradually start moving the fuel flow lever forward as the main rotor just starts to turn. And then we just need to keep an eye on it. Okay, so let us do that. So going back to the beginning again, we switch the booster pump to on. And we're going to wait 20 seconds. We want the fuel pressure light to go out. I think it actually ever came on, actually, or maybe it's just the light. Okay. Check the fuel low pressure warning light goes out. Wait for the fuel to flow from the micro pump drain. It should be within 5 to 15 seconds. Okay, so we've waited long enough now. Set the starter switch to on. We've got the green start light. Now I need to quickly move that, and we want about there. Keep an eye down here. Watching that. They've all gone out now. So that's actually stabilising at about 17. Maybe I've not quite put enough fuel in, so I'm now going to start gradually bringing that forward. Rotor RPM now starting to pick up. so gently. Keeping an eye on everything. That's our instrument to watch. Great stuff. Okay, so we have a fully running engine. I'm not seeing anything to worry about. T's and P's to me look absolutely fine. We've got our computer here that we're not going to use. Okay, let's, in my excitement to start her up, I didn't put any lights on, so let's have some lights on. Let's have the pitot heat on. Quick check of the circuit breakers, still nothing untoward happening there. Check of our lights, that's all good. Okay, just quickly checking now, fuel booster, should that now come off? Check the fuel booster and wait 20 seconds, wait for the fuel. Doesn't actually say anywhere that I can see that you need to turn the fuel booster off at this point, so I'm not going to touch that for the time being. Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for. Laughing nervously. Okay, let's just get the head tracking sorted. Right, so I just want to feel it out to start off with, just get an idea of how the helicopter's going to behave when I start raising the collective. Oh, okay, so it's going to quite sharply turn to the left, so just putting in a bit of pedal. Find the point. Okay, so we're drifting quite a lot to the left, so we've got to keep some right cyclic on, obviously. Let's get a feel for that. There we go. Let's just come over here. So the wind is coming from our left. A bit scrappy, that's because I looked over at my map. So let's get control again, please. So we'll take the runway. Slightly high for a hover, really. Bit of right pedal on. See how it feels in a turn. I love how look at how the instrument panel wobbles. Amazing. It does feel lovely to fly. It's very fluid. Very fluid. I mean, this helicopter dates back from, well, I think the first one was about 1969, 1970, so it's very old tech. But it feels absolutely gorgeous. Okay, right, let's get going somewhere. So I need to see if I can land. It's not really what you want to hear from a pilot. See if we can land. Just checking the instruments. Lovely sounds, gorgeous sounds, and look at that scenery. It's one of the great things about the simulator, flying helicopters. I know from a physics point of view, some people prefer other sims like X-Plane. But for me as a newcomer to helicopters, I just absolutely love it. And this helicopter is going to be incredible in VR. It's just as fun to fly as the Alouette was actually. The Alouette had a very kind of gutsy feel to it, and this is the same. You feel very connected to it. That's what I like about them. I'm going to have some fun in this helicopter, I can tell. And the irony was, initially I wasn't so sure. I'd bought the Alouette, but then hardly flown it, purely because of the looks, as I said. Technically, it's incredible. Taog's Hangar have certainly done an amazing job on it. But this one, with the looks, I don't know, I just knew I had to get it. There's the tunnel entrance there. So we'll just scoot across here, and I'm glad I did, because this is a beautiful experience. It really is. I mean, I can say this now because I'm not doing anything particularly untoward or challenging. We're just slowly scooting along in gorgeous scenery, but it's going to get more difficult. One must challenge oneself. There's the where the tunnel comes out. I'm going to have to come here in real life one of these days, because it is just beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so this is Nap down here. Love the textures. There really is so much detail to it. I actually surprised myself how much I've fallen in love with helicopters in this sim. If you've not watched any of the other videos that I've done on helicopters, quite often say that I haven't really done much with helicopters in any other sim. Really, I don't know, I guess certainly in P3D it wasn't really an option. In FSX I think I probably had to play. I actually had to play in P3D, come to think of it. I want to say that I once tried to fly a Black Hawk, but didn't do particularly well. But in this sim it's hard not to appreciate it, because the scenery is just so gorgeous. I'm getting distracted by this hill. Let's go and have a look. It's not on my flight plan, but I'm just seeing this. I don't know what the Norwegian term for it is. right now I can't think what the English term for it would be, but this this little indentation up here, just keeping an eye on the speed. As we get slower I can feel the helicopter starting to wobble a bit, but that could also be a bit of turbulence maybe. Have we got flat ground up here for me to land on? That's what I'm wondering. Not really. No. No, I'd be a bit silly to try and land on that. Okay. Let's get back on the plan. But at least up here you can get a really good look at this scenery. Isn't it just beautiful? Look at that. Just stunning. Right, let's get some speed up. Let's take it down low and look at this scenery. Wow, beautiful. My lord, those sandy beaches. Well, I presume they're sandy. And let's face it, be pretty cold right now. So let's just come off the collective a bit and just keep an eye on that speed so that we don't go too fast. And then we want to head down this field. I'm getting distracted by over here. Is there somewhere a little bit flat that we can land on here? I want to try and get a landing in. The sounds really are quite amazing. I've got my headset turned right up and the sound of the rotors is thundering in my ears and it's just beautiful. Yeah, that doesn't look particular. Actually, let's just come round. How much clearance have I got? Let's come round. Wow, banks on a sixpence, if that's the phrase. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything grey there. Okay, let's head back down this way. Oh, that rotor slap. It's like a gorgeous percussion instrument. Change as we head over the other way. So we're coming up to a really nice beach here. In fact, anyone who's watching who was on the group flight, I seem to remember we landed here in the amphibious beavers. Looking over there. Now this helicopter does simulate vortex ring state, and unlike the H160 it doesn't have a nice pre-warning system in it, so I do need to be very careful of that. I think I'm going to put it down just over there. Actually, let's head for that flattish area there. That's probably a bit better, but not in the water preferably. Come back. Let's get control again. Well, we're down of sorts there. That was a little bit bouncy. So yeah, it's certainly more of a challenge to land. That's for sure. That was quite interesting. Trying to get it to settle into a nice hover so that we could land. It was chucking it around a bit. Anyway. So let's lift off again and let's get going. So anticipating that rotation to the left. And drifting to the left as well, so let's just correct that a little bit. Okay, let's get back on course. T's and P's and everything. We don't want to break anything on our first flight. Flights like this for me are very much about learning the aircraft as well. That first flight is where you find out where your weaknesses are. You find out what you need to practice, how the aircraft behaves. Straight away, I'm seeing that my weakness in this helicopter is definitely hovering. That coming into doing an approach and doing a nice smooth landing, it does actually say in the checklist to, well, basically it tells you not to hang about, just to, when you're lifting off and landing, don't hesitate. Obviously do it smoothly, but just put it down. And that's possibly in no large part to the fact that it does like to move around a bit. And also I should say this is the new, I think this is 1.1 release. I know that the initial release was quite twitchy, and this is a new flight model that's been put in place. It's gorgeous. What a lovely wee place to live down here, eh? It's definitely the kind of helicopter that you have to concentrate on. As soon as you start, your attention starts wandering, as mine did just then, it will start wobbling around. So we'll just come around this headland here. And now we're not going to have the sun in front of us. We'll get a better view of what's going on. My lord. Gorgeous. It was beautiful before, but this latest world update, unless it's just my eyes deceive me, it's even better. The detail on that shoreline there. Look down. Nothing untoward happening there. So we'll just scoot along the coast. Spit your words out, that's what happens. Concentrating on flying and suddenly unable to talk properly. Vaguely remember this from when we did the group flight. There's a nice little village. Go and say hello. Don't want to annoy him too much. Scoot round here. We're going to head up this fjord. Mountains here are just beautiful. Whilst I guess really right now, I bet if I put live weather on, we will do actually. Try and remind me. When we get back, I'll stick live weather on and we can have a look what it's like. But I'm pretty sure it'd be quite snowy. But I'd put this weather on really so that we could see the landscape as well, so that we could see what it's about. Right, let's have a look at what's going on down here. Colours in the water there. It's also quite interesting to see how the greenery is different. I'm using Rex AccuSeasons Advanced, and over in the UK it's just burning kind of browns and golds with autumn, whereas here it's still nice and green. I guess because of the evergreen trees, isn't it? I got told off in one of my videos recently. Not told off, but it was pointed out to me that in a real world you wouldn't fly a helicopter solo over built up areas like this. And that of course is absolutely true. So in that part, I'm guilty of it being unrealistic, but it's good fun. And I'm trying to get to see what the scenery is like. Now, up ahead, I can see some wires. So we need to be very careful of those. So we'll just come up a little bit. See, I'm not really going anywhere near the maximum speed of the helicopter, just a nice gentle coast up here to have a look at the scenery. And then we'll pop over the wire and give it some beans. a less generic area now, so I have to try and have a target to land on. Just having a look over here to see what we've got. Oh, that's quite handy there. A kind of larger white circle that's on its own. Okay. So the wind is coming from my left. I've got a big rock on my right. Let's lower the collective. Watching my rate of descent there and also the speed. See if we can come round in a nice circle. Forgot I wasn't in the H160 then, I was about to lower the gear. It's one thing we don't need to worry about. Speed. Trying to keep that white spot in the same position. This is where it all goes wrong. And we're down. So as soon as I've got to be careful of that. As soon as the helicopter touches down, maybe I need to come off the pedal a bit because then it's kind of turning on the ground. But there you go, we're down on the white spot. Right, let's lift off and crack on. So anticipating that turn to the left, a little bit of right cyclic as well, not too much. Trying to teach myself to look at the distance, doing that kind of thing, to get a better appreciation of what the helicopter's doing. Bye everybody. The amateur helicopter pilot is leaving. Right, let's get a move on. Rotor sound is really hammering my ears. Part of me wants to turn the volume down, and another part of me is quite enjoying it. It's like yeah, it's like AC/DC in your ears. You don't want to turn it down. Right, I can see a pile on there, but I can't see the K. Oh, okay, yeah, I see where that is. Let's not bang into that. Lovely looking little church up ahead. Okay, so we're now heading homewards. Just still having to use a bit of right pedal here. If I let the pedals go, So I'm imagining that I needed right pedal. If I let the pedals go, it's actually flying quite nicely. A lovely little church. Anybody watching this who lives here, I know from living in the Highlands that sometimes you can get a postcard view of what somewhere is like to live, and I'm sure there are times where it's very harsh, and you wish that you were somewhere warmer and drier, maybe, and sunnier. But my God, I do envy you living here. It must be really quite strange getting used to that midnight sun, and also the endlessly dark days. I mean, it's bad enough here in the UK when it starts getting dark at about, I don't know, 4 o'clock, 4:30. I remember up in the Northern Highlands, it was even worse. But just coming over there. But yeah, to be up here and to be in the dark most of the time. We are in, I'm pretty sure we're north of the Arctic Circle here. So we'll just pop over the ridge here. Again. It's definitely a helicopter that you are flying by the seat of your pants. You are having to constantly make little corrections, keeping a feel for the what the cycling's doing. I might actually adjust my sensitivity settings back a little bit. I think I've got too much of a curve in there. It doesn't feel quite as responsive, and that's not the helicopter, that's me. I think I'll put in something like -50 on each axis, which is probably a bit too much. Shame there's no boat over here to try and land on. So let's come over to this side of the shore. Gorgeous. It's really hard not getting distracted by how beautiful the scenery is when you're trying to fly something like this, because you definitely got to keep an eye on it. Quick look at T's and P's. Everything's good. I love the way that instrument panel plate just vibrates a little bit. Very much alive. Plane is up ahead. I have a feeling, I might be wrong, I should have checked. Very unprofessional of me, but I think Lateness is probably one of the airports that's been given some special attention for that world update, because that's the bog standard airport that I've got in there, and it seems to have a lot of detail to it. This is what I love about helicopter flying. Just buzzing around over scenery like this. It might not be real world legal, but it's damn good fun in the sim. So let's fly over downtown Leckness. Come over here, we should see our airport. There it is. There's the tower. Hello, Ghost Rider. Right, now there are cables there, so let's come up above that. Let's not be a silly boy. Oh, that rotor slap is beautiful. Right, let's do an approach. So I'm dropping the collective. I'm being a little bit more aggressive this time. Coming a little too high. Descend too fast. Okay, come on. Bloody hell. Trying to hover taxi. Let's get control. Sliding around all over the show. Oh, hello. We're not coming in there, lads. But thank you. Let's watch the lights. Let's not drift over there too far. Oh, I just realised my head. Oh. Had a nasty pause in the sim then, just when I didn't need it. Down here, I think. Oh, hopeless. All over the shop. Let's try this one. Suddenly picked up a lot of speed from somewhere. Down we go. So yeah, wow. Interesting. So, I wasn't looking at the distance, I was looking too close, maybe. I did make sure that I didn't have too much right pedal on, but there was a little bit. But she is feisty to control at low level when you are hover taxiing and doing that sort of thing. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's going to be a challenge to fly it nicely, smoothly, correctly, and it's just got so much character, absolutely beautiful. Anyway, thanks for coming along for the flight, hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you again on the channel very soon. Take care now, bye bye.